What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for all you rascals and rapscallions out there. Now, I wanted to make a video last Saturday, but I actually went out to Big Bill Blackwell's birthday party, barbecue, extravaganza, where I actually won this pretty rad trophy in a pro wrestling trivia contest, and everybody hated me because of all the shit I talked. But like Ron Artest said, I don't gotta brag, I let the trophies do it. They're gonna hate me for that. But anyways, I figured midweek I would make a little video because I just got some mail. And this was mail about something that my good friend Tim Williams reminded me about. That I believe in the last week, I don't know the exact date that this came out, but that was the TV series produced by Shudder of Creepshow. It is, I believe, 12 anthology films across 6 episodes, so 2 an episode. I was going to put off buying this for the longest time, but I folded. So this was a show Shudder put out, and I believe it aired on AMC. But it's pretty much a throwback to the original Creepshow movies, which were throwbacks to the old EC comics, the Chamber of Horrors, Tales from the Crypt, and stuff like that. So I haven't watched this yet, but I figured I'd throw a little video together talking about Creepshow. First and foremost, I don't really care for this cover, the ghoul on there. I mean, it's okay. The back cover art is a little better. You know, like I said, these are based off of comic books. I'm not into, like, superhero comics, but I really like horror comics, so maybe my friends or subscribers that like superhero stuff can kind of relate with some of this. So anyways, nice little slipcover. This is something I kind of liked. Well, I don't think they needed 3 discs for 6 episodes, but I'll take it. It's a physical media guy. They got this little booklet in here. Once again, I can do a full overview of the series once I get to it. I'll probably start it tonight after I watch a little AEW. But I thought this was kind of cool, like in the booklet, where it's got each episode like a little comic book. Explains the 2 episodes on each, then on to the next. I mean, this is, like I've said a million times, this is a reason to get physical media. You're going to pay the same price as you would buying the digital copy. And I get streamings all right, but I mean, what happens when they take it off? You know, you want to have the good shit at hand. Or what if the revolution starts and we lose our internet? I could sit here and watch Creepshow all day. But like I said, I'll like to do a review of this in future time. I just thought this would be a kind of fun time to talk about Creepshow, because pretty much this is based off of the original Creepshow movie, which was a collaboration between George A. Romero and Stephen King, which if you haven't heard of either of them and you're a fan of horror, you have been living under a rock. But yeah, the original idea was to kind of do a parody, not a parody, but like homage to the old EC comic books. Like I said, Tales from the Crypt, Chambers of Horror, Vault of Death, and I'm probably getting them all wrong, damn it. But which I own a couple, by the way. So I'm not a complete mark, but this is a pretty cool like Scream Factory release. I like when they have like the cases that go with them like this. So this has got the original Creepshow cover on the front. Tons and tons of bonus features like Scream Factory always does. Got a nice little booklet on the inside. See, you don't get this stuff anymore. I mean, I'm finally getting old because, like I say, the kids will never understand. Like, we didn't have internet when I was real young, so, like, this is where you got a lot of your information. And little books like this. Same could be said about buying, like, albums. But, anyways, this is the more popular of the 2 from 1981. It has 5 classic skits in it. I'll go over them very briefly. I would like to do full reviews in the future, but I haven't yet reviewed any anthology films, which I would like to. But the first one, I believe, was about this old man who's wanting his birthday cake, and his daughter kills him off because he's just overbearing and too much, and he comes back as a zombie, and pretty much just kills everyone. This is the weakest one out of all the 5 skits, in my opinion. The next one, I believe, was Tony Danza and no, Leslie Nelson. I know that for sure. And it's pretty much Leslie Nelson was dating this woman, and he's an older man, and the younger guy takes him. So then he goes in this like sociopath kind of like revenge game, burying them both neck deep in the sand and killing them, and they might come back for revenge. This one was really good too, and I must say, like, all of these stories really give you the vibe of like the comic books. Like, they have these certain like scenes that cut and freeze like they are the actual comics, and then the lighting they use. And that's a very underrated thing in film, especially horror, just like lighting and atmosphere, and then like the comic book cuts are like something completely different that you don't really get very often. And then the next one was, out of the 5, was actually starring Stephen King, about this redneck who hears a big crash in his backyard, and it's a meteor shit when he gets on his hand. You guys know what's up. But it ends up infecting him, and he starts growing all the like this grass on him and everything. And the practical effects of this are awesome, and it's got a pretty like dark ending to it. But this is one of my favorites for sure. Based on Stephen King alone, you could argue who's gonna write the story than cast himself, but he did a really good job. And then the 4th would be the 4th one. Oh, The Box, or The Crate. It's pretty much just like a husband who's verbally abused by his wife, and then he's helping his friend who works at the school, or I believe, that found this crate, and it's got this monster in it, and the monster is eating everybody and killing them. And this is kind of one of the more bloody stories out of all these, because a lot of these aren't very gory, but less is more, especially when you have the good visuals. But this has got a lot of good gore. He tries to get the monster to eat his wife. Things get a little crazy. This one's pretty fun, especially at the end. It's very satisfying. And then what was last but not least, this one used to creep me the fuck out. It's about like a guy who was before his time for the COVID virus that is totally against germs, but he's like this Ebenezer Scrooge kind of fat cat corporate cunt, and he's just like firing people on their days off because they can't get their work in, and he's like cursing out the electricians and all the people that work for him in this like secure private germ-free apartment that he has, because they can't get there because of this crazy power outage or the storm. And he keeps finding these cockroaches, and he has this phobia of bugs. And I'll just give this last part away. It's the goriest part in the whole movie. Like, he ends up getting karma like put back on him for being such an asshole, and just all these cockroaches, live cockroaches, consume his apartment. They start ripping out of his throat and everything. It is gnarly. And when you put all 5 of these together, nothing beats an anthology film with like good stories, because at the same time, nothing's worse than like a slow first act, a slow second act, or a slow third act for that matter. So like, to have 5 stories that flow very well, this is like a fun movie to like have friends over and watch, and you could just get through very easily. Every one of them have something special to them. Very fun. It clearly is the better of the 2, but I'm going to stick up for this one. I believe this was 1987, I want to say, 1987. This is Creepshow 2. Oh no, this is... Damn it, Bobby. This is Creepshow 2. How could I forget the cover? A lot of people hate on this. For one, it only has 3 skits instead of 5. But I think maybe because me and my sister growing up watched this one more, it might be our favorite. This has 3 skits. The first one is about this old couple who run this mom and pop shop in this small little town, and one of the Indians, because they're at like near a reservation and have respect to the locals or whatnot, brings them like all this gold to hold on to. And then the Indian's like nephew or something, he's related to him, shows up with his 2 friends at the store. They rob and accidentally kill both people and steal all the gold, and they're going to take a run off to Hollywood. But there was this big like wooden Indian figure outside the front, and he takes life for revenge, and he ends up killing all 3 of them. Fun skit. And then my favorite of the 3 as a kid was the second one, The Raft, where this jock and 2 girls and the nerdy guy that the jock likes to call Poncho, I always remember that for some reason, they swim out to this raft to go smoke joints and just hang out, maybe get laid or whatever. And then there's like this tar in the water, kind of reminiscent of the Blob. And then it eventually starts killing everyone, and we get to the final person. They try to make their escape. This one was just fun. Nothing too special about it, but I always liked it as a kid. I still like it now, unlike Dolly Dearest, which sucked. And then we have the final skit in this one. This rich woman, or I should say a wife of a rich man, she's out seeing a male prostitute while her husband's at work. She goes to drive home. She runs over a homeless man by mistake, and she tries to do a hit and run. And it's like a jump scare after jump scare, because this homeless man turns into like a zombie and just keeps appearing. And she almost thinks she's like hallucinating over it, because she keeps killing him, trying to get away. And he has this one classic line, "Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride, lady." So you see what I'm saying? If you've seen both of these movies, you would understand where I'm coming from in the second one. That, you know, it might not be as iconic as the first, but there are so many great moments that are unforgettable. This one was all right. It's probably my least favorite of the three in this anthology, but either way, they both flow pretty well. And I should say, this one, it's kind of like, I forget what they call them. This skeleton that's on here, you'll see him on here. So now you see the faces on these. Now you see why I don't really care for the look of the one on this cover. But regardless, I haven't seen the TV show yet, but they've all been hosted by this kind of ghoul, kind of Tales from the Crypt-esque, you know. I think he was live in this one, like practical effects, and this one, part 2, was like animation. But there's like little skits in between each story of both movies, which are pretty fun. I enjoyed them. And now this was something I picked up that I didn't really need, but I thought this was so cool. I wanted to just add on what I showed you guys. This is like a mock Creepshow comic book. And like, this is the opening scene in the first episode with the little kid reading the comic with this ghoul on the outside. I can't remember his name. But the cool thing is, though, I like how I described the first movie, this comic book, if you can see that, I'll get to a comic page. It's it retells all of the stories, all 5 of the stories in the first comic. So, I mean, here's the Beast from the Crate. I'll show you guys. Oh, darn it. Damn it. Either way, pretty cool stuff. I just put this up on my shelf with some of my other collectibles and whatnot. But I don't know if this was enough for a video. I probably ran it on a little too much, especially without a review of the TV show. But I felt like this is almost like a complete Creepshow collection without part 3. So it's pretty much a complete Creepshow collection. But yeah, if you guys have any opinions on the TV show, or the first or second, or even the third, just for fun, let me know. And if you got any questions about this comic book, let me know. Or if you've read it yourself. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I felt just kind of Creepshowed out, bro. I feel like a total creep right now. But yeah, I just figured I'd make this little video. I didn't want to have to wait 2 weeks to put something out, so this is a nice little fun video of me ranting and rambling on. Doesn't help, I work outside at a manufacturing company, and I worked outside in like 90-degree heat all day, so I'm a little discombobulated. We just got a pretty wicked thunderstorm, hoping it comes back so I can enjoy this TV show with a little thunder. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Cage, bring the thunder. Yeah, so hope everybody's doing good in these bad times. The coronavirus is still kicking, but it looks like a lot of things are starting to open up. But that just means you can have people over to watch some horror movies. So let me know in the comments what kind of movies you are watching. Yeah, other than that, Blood, Guts, Gore. I'll talk to you guys next time.